Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I want to show you how you can improvise lead lines without having it sound like scales. Many guitarists kind of struggle when they try and improvise or they try and play more melodically. Their go-to is scale shapes, but then it actually sounds like scales and it doesn't quite sound like it fits the chords you are playing over. So what I've prepared for you is a part here. It's got a rhythmic lead as well as a melodic lead. I'm going to show you exactly where the notes come from. You're going to see the triad shapes on the screen. You can actually see where I'm getting the chord tones as well as the more interesting sounding notes. I'm going to show that to you when I do the breakdown. And then at the end of the video, there's going to be an extended backing track where you can either follow along with the diagrams on the screen and play those notes, or you can come up with something of your own. You can find all those links and the chapter points in the description below. All right, so let's go ahead and play the example, and afterwards I'll break it down. I'll show you exactly what I did so you can go ahead and use this concept in your own playing. Here we go.
3, 4.
Alright, so there you go. That is the idea. You would have seen that there was a rhythmic vibe and then also a melodic vibe going. And the whole point of this is to be able to pull those out at will and to have it follow the chords so that it actually sounds like what you're playing fits over the music rather than kind of trying to force the scale over chords. And the problem is when you just play a scale over the chords, a lot of guitarists, they will grab the scale, but first of all, they're not really aware of what the chords are as the chord changes happen that they're playing over. And then secondly, they also don't know what the chord tones are. So there's thankfully an easy solution for this. You'd need to know, number one, what the chords are of the progression and how and when they are changing. And then on top of that, you also need to be aware of where to find the chord tones so that you can go ahead and visualize that on the guitar. So let's just check this out. This progression was basically a 1-4-6-4-1-5 progression. That means E is the 1 chord, the 4 chord is A, and then we repeated that E, and then A. Then we went to C sharp minor, 6, and then we went to 4, which is A, and then we went to 1, which is E, all there, and then 5. So you need to know what the chords are. So in this case, E, A, C sharp minor, A, E, B. So what I did for the first part is I played this kind of melodic vibe. And as you can see, that is basically based around the E major scale, or the E major pentatonic scale with the addition of this one note. But in essence, I'm just playing this triad shape. Any one of these notes will be a chord tone, which means it'll sound like it perfectly fits over that chord. Now the notes around it, this note and that note, you can see that they are pink in this instance, which means they are not chord tones, they're not part of the triad, but they are notes that bring some melodic interest. So I can now play. So I can visualize my triad shape, and then I can play the other notes that are not in the triad to bring some melodic interest. Then what I did in this instance is I played that exact same line over A major, and it sounded like this. And what that basically means, the A major triad is over here, but I kind of focused on this note, which was from the E major triad. But because you've just heard it from the E major triad, it sounded pretty cool in that instance. So that's the idea for the main melodic section, where I just use the triad shapes, and then I use notes from the scale to bring that some melodic interest to that. So let me go ahead and play that section for you one more time, and then afterwards we'll carry on with the next section.
3, 4.
Alright, so that is what it looks like. If you want to get the tabs, you can also check out the link in the description to get the note for note tabs, where you can also see the rhythms. Now that was the 1-4 part of the progression, E to A, where we had 2 bars per chord. Now for the next part of the track, we are playing 6-4-1-5. In other words, C sharp minor, A, E, B. Now, for that section, I played the following melody. Let's go ahead and play that with the track, and then afterwards we'll break it down. Alright, so we know what the chords are. If I just play triad shapes, it'll be C sharp minor, A, and then we had E, and then we had B. And you can hear that those are the chord changes. Now all I did is I was aware of where to find the triads, and there's more than one place to find the triads. For example, E I can play there, I can play it here, I can play it there. So there's multiple places to play the triads, but I just basically visualized the triad shape, and then what you can see on the screen right now is you'll see the triad shape. The notes that I don't play from the triad shape, they are gray. The notes I'm playing, they will be either red, green, black, or blue. Red means it's the root note, green means it's the major third, black is the fifth, and blue is the minor third. And then notes that are not in that triad, they will be pink. So in this instance, I played this over C sharp minor. So what's happening there is I'm going from this C sharp minor to this C sharp minor. And then I'm going from this C sharp note to the E note. So it's the root note going to the minor third, but I'm using this pink note, which is a note from the major scale, as a passing tone. And then when I go back to that C sharp, then we are on the A chord. That's why it sounds slightly different. Now it's no longer red for the root note, it's actually green because it's the major third of A. So the first part is C sharp minor, A, E, and that note comes from E, and then B, which is there. And then I go to E over the A for the E, and then the B. So it's actually much easier when you just look at the diagrams, when you can actually just see when am I playing a note from the triad, when am I playing a note from the scale that's not in the triad, and how do I connect those together. So I'm going to play it for you slowly, and then you can just follow along with the tabs, or not the tabs, but the diagram on screen, and then afterwards we'll play it once more with the backing track, and then there's going to be an extended part of the backing track for you to go ahead and give this a go. So let's check it out. Here we go. C sharp minor, A, E, B, C sharp minor, A, E, B. And then from there, the rest of the track will go ahead and just playing some chords over there, so you can go ahead and play the melody line. So the whole takeaway from this lesson is when you want to play lead lines over a progression, over a song, whatever the case may be, melodic lines, improvisation, first of all, visualize your triad shapes, pick one of the notes within that triad shape, and then know that you also have this scale in and around that triad shape that can bring some melodic interest as you connect different shapes together. But none of these notes are random. It's not even using scales as an approach. It's using triads to show me what notes I can play, and then the scale is just helping me connect these notes and bring in some melodic interest, which are the pink notes on the diagrams. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll fire up the track one more time. I'll play this example from start to finish, and then the track will carry on playing for another 2 times, where you can go ahead and play that for yourself. And by the way, if you enjoy this backing track, and if you want to get hundreds of tracks like this in different keys, different tempos, different time signatures, and also different versions of the progressions, just go ahead and check out the link in the description or visit worshipguitarbackingtracks.com, and you can go ahead and pick up some training with a whole library of these jam tracks to go ahead and supercharge your practice sessions. All right, let's go and check out the track one more time. I'll play it afterwards. You can go ahead and play some of your own ideas. Here we go.
2, 3, 4.